So Kev, you're someone who knows exactly what the South Coast Derby is all about, but are you treating it just as any other game at the moment?
You do, but I love the derbies anyway, always have done. Miss them, the atmosphere, the intensity of it, and it's just not another game, is it? It's against your local rivals and you want to beat them at any cost.
I remember the draw for this round happened just after the QPR game, so what was your reaction when you found out, and where were you?
Well, to be fair, unfortunately, after the QPR game, I was for the QPR game, I was ill at shingles, but I was at home watching it. When the draw came out, I couldn't believe it. I was laughing like mad to my wife, and my wife said, "What are you going on about?" And I said, "We've drawn Southampton." So she said, "Oh, not again." So it was. I was quite happy with it, especially at home.
And as you say, with all of those previous games and all those previous South Coast derbies that you've done, you know so much about them. Have you been taking it upon yourself to sort of make sure the players know how big it is and make sure they know?
Oh, they know what it. Come the night, they'll know what it's about, because this place will be rocking. I don't care what anybody says, whether it's a checker trade trophy against Southampton or a friendly against Southampton. There's no such thing, and the players will know from me and other players like Alan Knight that played in many of them as well. I think themselves, when they go out on the pitch, they'll understand that the atmosphere is totally different. The fans will make them know if they're not putting it in, that's for sure, on the night. It is a game of football, but it's bragging rights at the end of the day, and we want to win, and the players will know they want to win. And the likes of Gareth Evans know all about that. And a few of them before the night, I'll be geeing them up to tell them on the night. We've got a few other games before that, but it's one we're looking forward to.
Is it difficult to stay focused on the games ahead when you've got such a sort of big tie in the back of your head at all times?
Yeah, I think it is, because the league's our priority at the end of the day. Nearer the time when the game's being played, then I'm sure the lads will knuckle down and see, how big a game it will be. But again, like I said, the priority is the league this year.
There are so many big derbies in English football history and around the world as well. You're obviously a proud Welshman, so you've got Swansea versus Cardiff. But is Southampton Portsmouth, is that the big one?
It's one of the biggest ones, for atmosphere and that. Celtic Rangers is good, and Liverpool Everton, but this place rocks when it's here. Not so much down the road, because they're not as passionate as our fans, but here it rocks.
Is that what you think sets it apart from other derbies? Is the passion?
Oh yeah, the passion. The fans go. I've never seen fans go as mad as these lot when a game. It's on a par of when we played AC Milan and Arsenal here. That's them sort of games. The roof nearly comes off, and I can guarantee you the roof will come off if we're winning. A week Tuesday, the roof will come off here, and I don't think Mr. Eisner will be happy because there's a new roof.
So let's go back into it, all of the memories that you have against Southampton. They say you never forget your first, but do you remember the first South Coast derby you were involved in at the club?
No, I can't really. The ones that stick out in my mind is the 4-1 here, and always remember coming in early in the morning on Saturday morning, and the house out the back there, it had "Welcome to Hell" written on the wall, which was quite amusing when I didn't realise how intense it would be. And then when the players were lining in the tunnel, it was like, I've never come out of a Colosseum, but it felt like coming out of the Colosseum. It was rocking, and then within 20 minutes, Loire put us like 3-1 up. Game over. In 20 minutes, he won man of the match, and I got a great print in the house of the lads. I can't remember. I think it was the 4th goal, and Matty Taylor's in the net like that, and Richard Hughes and a few other of them are jumping like that, and you can see all the Southampton fans' faces. Is a right picture to see. You know what I mean? And it's it was quite funny looking at the reactions of the Southampton supporters.
And what about the reactions from where you view the games from the dugout? It must be so difficult to keep your composure in moments like that.
Well, it is when we score like that. I've jumped up and down a few times and had the old head wobbles, mate, where the rush of blood goes to your head too quick and you nearly keel over. But I think that's the passionate in me as well of being an ex-sportsman, that I never like losing anyway, but especially when it's against your closest rivals, But again, they're your rivals. I get on really well with the Southampton Kitman. He's a good lad, and we're in the same job and we look out for each other.
I'm sure there may be some people who are surprised to hear that sort of, you're mates with the Southampton Kitman, but is there sort of a mutual respect there between the two?
Yeah, of course there is, because we've been in the job a long time. He's been in the job as long as I have, but me and him take it. At the end of the day, whoever wins, we shake each other by the hands. Whether we do it through gritted teeth or what is another thing, but we both want to win, and we both, for our teams, but I think that's for every game. The fans, it's for the fans mostly. And the players know what it is to the fans, and that's what spurs them on a bit more.
And you mentioned Loire there. He certainly rose to the occasion on that day. But what players, before the game were really up for these games? I mean, I can imagine the likes of sort of Herman Hreidarsson being bang up for it.
Herman was. Dave Norris, even Chris Maguire when he scored that 20-yarder. Norris scored in the last minute down there, which was another good, the last seconds of the games we got an equaliser, which was unbelievable, because they were absolutely abusing us on the bench. But when he scored that goal, that was another day I had the head rush when we scored in the last seconds. Nearly went over there again. But yeah, Dejan Stevanovic and all them, they were right up for it. If they didn't have the ball, they'd kick someone else, But that's the way they did it. They were always up for it. And we had a few. Crouchy played for us and then played for them, and Nigel Quasi played for us and then played for them, and it's. I like the derbies. I think it's good for the game, the derbies. As long as there's no silliness, But yeah, so players know, they know, and if they don't know, they'll know Tuesday night because the fans will let them know.
You mentioned the Dave Norris goal there, obviously the 2-2 up at St Mary's. That was the last time the two teams played. Where they play each other so infrequently, does that make it even more intense? Because whoever gets the bragging rights is probably going to get them for a while.
Yeah, but on paper, if you're a realist, on paper, they should beat us, shouldn't they? Being a Premier League team, but it don't work like that. Derbies don't work like that. Never have done, never will do. Who wants it most on the night? Any team can beat anybody on the night, as long as they want it enough. And I'll make sure that our players do want it enough.
And we'll obviously have the Blue Army backing us as well. How big do you think the home advantage is going to be?
Oh, massive. Absolutely massive. This old place has got a lot of character, and the atmosphere, you don't get stadiums like this no more. And that's why I don't want it to change, really. This has been my home for 20 odd years, and you can't get an atmosphere like that. Like I said, when you go down that tunnel, it's like coming out of the Colosseum. It's like going out to your death. If you're one of the opposition, and it does give them an advantage, in my opinion.
Well, Kev, we'll be hoping for another head rush from you when we play.
Oh, absolutely. A couple of them, hopefully.